Welcome to another episode of Fabricate. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to get a realistic rust effect using, well, real rust. So I recently heard of another method of getting a rust effect besides trying to just paint it to look as rusty as possible by using iron powder and then spraying it with a solvent so that it has a reaction and creates rust. And it works pretty well. This is my 10mm pistol from Fallout 4 that I 3D printed, and I used the method of making rust with the iron powder on here, and it just came out fantastic. I mean, it's real rust, so therefore it looks realistic because it is real. Compared to my quick rust paint job that I did on the other side, it looks really, really great compared to this. So I think that I'm pretty much going to do this method all the time from now on. So let me show you how it's done. So we are going to do the other side of my gun and add the rust effect to it, as well as probably the rest of the gun, the metal parts of the gun. And for this project, you're going to need a few things. First of all, of course, is the iron powder. I got it on Amazon, and I will put a link to it in the description down below. You will need a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, some vinegar. This is actually cleaning vinegar because it doesn't smell bad, and it's 6% concentration, so 6% acidity, which it works really well. So if you can get the stuff that's, you know, been made to smell good, I'd say go for it. Two spray bottles. One is going to be filled with vinegar and the other one's going to be filled with a mixture of vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and salt. And finally, you're going to need some salt.
I also forgot to mention that you will also need Mod Podge. So first, you're going to take one of your bottles and decide which one you want to just have straight vinegar and nothing else, and you are going to fill it with vinegar. Next, you're going to take your other bottle and do a mixture of vinegar, salt, and hydrogen peroxide. I actually just kind of eyeballed it here, and that was a mistake. Don't do that. I put way more vinegar than needed and not enough peroxide, so I would advise you do half a tablespoon of salt, 16 ounces of hydrogen peroxide, and then 2 ounces of vinegar. Of course, you can make more or less than that, but that's the mixture. Now we are going to take our Mod Podge and pretty much just go over the areas that you want the iron powder to adhere to. I already did a kind of texture, rust texture with the paint before, so I'm just kind of following that, but you can do it if you haven't done any rust paint already on it. You can just freehand it and kind of get an idea of where you think rust would build up and then put the Mod Podge there. Next, we are going to take our iron powder, and I'm using the spoon that I used to measure out the salt to make it easier to sprinkle the powder onto the gun. But basically, you're just going to sprinkle powder onto the areas that you put the Mod Podge so it adheres to it. And then I would advise maybe putting something underneath, another thing that I didn't do here, to kind of save any of the powder that falls off, or when you knock the powder, the excess powder off, you can save it and reuse it. Once the Mod Podge and iron powder have dried, you're going to take your bottle with just vinegar inside of it and spray down the powder, making sure that you get all of it wet. Once the vinegar dries, you are going to take your other bottle and you are going to spray it down, making sure you get the entire thing covered. You'll see rust instantly appear, but you need to leave it out for a little bit, let it dry out in the sun, and that will make the effects of the rusting process even greater.
And there you have it, real rust on a plastic gun. I think that the results came out pretty good on here. I actually put more iron and then also more solvent on this side during this process than I did on this side, and you can see that it results in like a brighter orange. So just so you know, that's how you get it to be a little bit brighter, is more rust, a little bit more solvent. It came out really good, and now you know how to do your own real rust on your props. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff to help out our channel, and we'll see you next time.